author of 3 books. She's also the author of 3 books, Dream and Believe, Dream Guidance, and The Dream Alchemist. And her website is dreamflowyoga.com. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Venus, for that lovely introduction. And it is really exciting to be back online through Whittier Library. As Venus said, I was here speaking a few years ago, and it's just so lovely. So I hope to be back soon, sometime soon again, to meet everybody in person. So I'm going to be doing this presentation tonight through PowerPoint. So once I start sharing my screen, I won't get to see everybody's faces. So I might take a little break here and there to check in on you to see if you have any questions. And then at the end, we'll for sure do some questions and answers and maybe some dream sharing. So as Venus said, I am a dream teacher, and I've been a big dreamer most of my life. I grew up in Sweden, and I also lived a few years in Australia and Sweden and the UK before coming to California. So you might hear from my accent that it changes a little bit. And so over the last 15 years or so, I dedicated my career to soul growth and dream work. And I have worked as chair of the board for the International Association for the Study of Dreams, a nonprofit international organization dedicated to the research and study of dreams. And I was going to show you the books as well that Venus so kindly highlighted, the Dream Guidance book, The Little Dream and Believe, and The Dream Alchemist. Those are my books that I have written. So I embrace dreams from a Jungian perspective primarily. Over the years of working with dreams, I've integrated other aspects of looking at dreams as well, but that's kind of like my base training in Jungian psychology. I do hold a master in counseling psychology and also a lay degree in parapsychic science. So I like to look at dreams from many different perspectives. And one thing that I have seen over the years is that some dreams are just very highly complex, and we may never know exactly what they mean. There are multiple interpretation possibilities, and most importantly, some dreams are just not meant to be interpreted at all. Some dreams are rather meant for us to just experience and connect with. So this evening, we are going to be looking at, and I'm going to share my screen here so we can you can follow along a little better as I talk. And let's see here. Yeah, there. Let's see. Are you able to see it pretty well? Maybe Venus, you can wave your hand. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. So we are going to be looking at how to better connect with our dreams and see how connecting with our dreams can help us find that sense of wholeness that we are all looking for in life. We're going to look at the benefits of embracing dreams, including why we sometimes have difficulties remembering our dreams. So what might be the reasons for poor dream recall, and how can we dream better and sleep better? We'll look at dream psychology with an introduction to some popular Jungian concepts, such as the self, shadow, synchronicity. And we'll look at how we can work with our own dreams by following a step-by-step approach and also looking at dreams from different angles. And we'll also see how we can ask our dreams for guidance if we are facing a difficult decision. And at the end, we'll also take a look at a little bit of dream yoga and lucid dreaming and some popular dream themes that we all share. So some dreams dreams are always unique to us, but there are some energetic patterns that tend to show up in our dreams. So let's start off by looking a little bit at the benefits, first of all, of dreaming. I'm sure you all have had those dreams that just have touched your heart, and you just know there's just something more to those dreams. So yes, they do clear emotional blockages, and they can help us find to really know how we really feel, to be honest about how we feel without any filter. So we can learn to see emotional patterns and habits that we might be stuck in, which is important because otherwise we might keep attracting similar life situations that we may not want. if we don't get out of those. So it's a beautiful thing to be aware of. And of course, dreams also help enhance our awareness. They guide us with beautiful messages. And what I love is that they connect us to something bigger so that we can remember our soul's home and our soul dreams so that we can really manifest what we want here on earth while we are alive. And dreams, they happen outside of time and space. And when we are dreaming, we are not bound by any time constraints, which means that we are free to do what we may not be able to do in waking life, which is also really encouraging and exciting from a point of soul growth. So we can kind of play around a little bit and play out different alternatives. All right, so let's take a look at poor dream recall. So I am thinking that many of you have wondered, and by the way, I didn't highlight those insufficient sleep and lost contact with inner child, but I'm happy that they actually popped out like that, because those are really important. Insufficient sleep, I would say, number one. So not having a regular sleep schedule, going to bed at different times. So maybe waking up way too early, because as we shall see very soon, our REM sleep increases through the night and we actually get longer stages of REM later in the morning. So going to bed early and making sure we get a full 8 hours sleep if possible, that's a wonderful thing you can do for your dreams. And also not having too much blue light in your bedroom. So electronics and any kind of blue light on your phone in the evening will, suppress the production of melatonin, which naturally is released in the body in a dark room. And not valuing our dreams as well. So dreams are funny. They really respond to our attention. So they start coming back more and more once we show them attention. And from a spiritual perspective, not remembering our dreams could also mean that we have lost contact with that inner dreamer within. And that is our inner child. So taking some time to really connect with your inner child. And how do you do that? Well, just think about something that you'd like to do as a child. Maybe just bring out that inner creativity. Share some imaginary stories with a friend. Just get that spark of inspiration to come back. And the dreams will respond to that as well. And if we don't take the time to remember our dreams and work with our dreams, we miss out on a very healthy and awareness enhancing flow between our unconscious and conscious, and of course messages. And if we don't have these clear dream images in our mind, as we'll see later when we speak about synchronicity, it's also hard to identify guidance as it comes our way. So what can we do to dream a little bit better? And these are just some ideas that I have put down that I have found that worked for me over the years. I'm sure you can think of more that you can add to the list. So just misting your bedroom with like some lavender, making a little peaceful ritual before you go to bed, maybe taking a sea salt bath, and declutter. Take away any clutter from your bedroom. The bedroom really should be your sacred space. So only for dreaming and sleeping. And crystals, we'll come back to those in a minute or two. Electronic, we talked about not having those around. And then some yoga poses that are good. I love that legs up the wall pose when you're lying with your whole back on the floor with your hips against the wall and your legs up the wall. It's such a beautiful and restorative position that really helps us get ready for bed. And also, I'm a big lover of doing some meditation in the evening. And the reason for that is that it helps clear the mind. And if we go to bed with our mind full of debris and emotional reactions from the day, then that has to be processed by our dream world. So if we take the time to first clear our mind, then we can sleep better and we can also have more spiritual, fulfilling dreams. All right, and oops, let's see now what happened with them. Let's see. Oh, I think maybe, let's see if I can go down and do it this way. Yep, I can. Very good. All right. So yes, some crystals. I'm a big fan of crystals as well. Some crystals that you may wish to have in your bedroom to enhance your dreams are amethyst, which is a very, very peaceful crystal. Helps transforms negativity into positive energy, helps you calm down, it helps with insomnia, and it opens the crown chakra, so it helps you become more receptive to guidance as it comes your way. Aventurine, which is this lovely crystal right here, is a wonderful heart opener, and it helps build trust and an inner knowing that all is working out, which releases impatience. And when you trust in your outcome, you can rest assured that your dreams come true. And then they have the moldavite, a very exciting little crystal that was formed about 15 million years ago in Eastern Europe when a meteorite hit Earth. And it helps with your intuition, wish fulfillment, and connecting with higher planes. And then the moonstone, which is right here, will help with lucidity in dreams. And we'll touch upon that a little bit later when you're actually aware that you are dreaming. It's good for emotional healing as well, balances masculine and female energies. And it's also very good for insomnia if you have difficulties falling asleep. And then we have the rose quartz, also a wonderful heart opener, very good for self-love and loving everything around you, balances emotions, which makes it easier to sleep deeper and better as well. Celestite, a personal favorite of mine, invite your angels and guides into your realm and relieves heavy moods as well. And then the clear quartz here at the end, it really helps to activate and amplify your intention. So if you're setting an intention to have a certain dream about something or whatever it might be, it will help amplify your intention. And it also recharges other crystals around you. All right. So now we are going to, oh yes, very quickly also take a look at our dream stages. I thought that would be good to have a little touch upon as well. And we have, in the beginning, when we first fall asleep, we have alpha waves. And it's very light. And you might have heard the term hypnagogia, which is when we are falling asleep, and hypnopompia when we are waking. So those are very similar states, very light sleep, very brief dreams, vivid images. And you might even have like light little dreams of reacting to your surrounding, an alarm clock or dog barking will kind of be integrated into your dream. And then we have stage 2, which is a little bit slightly deeper and theta waves. And they're more like a fragment of waking life. And sleep researchers think that this stage might help to strengthen our recent memory. And then stage 3, which is really deep sleep. And this is where we get those rejuvenating delta waves, so clearing junk out of our memory storage. And until quite recently, sleep scientists thought that we didn't dream at all in this stage, but we actually do. But where we dream most, and that's the stage we are most excited about, is stage 4, REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. And that's alpha and theta waves, and your body is paralyzed. So you might have woken up in some time and just haven't been able to move your body. And that is because of that response. It's a safety precaution for the body to not be able to move around as you are sleeping. All right, we are ready, guys, to hop into dream psychology. So as I mentioned earlier, I have been trained, most of my books that I read have been about Carl Jung over the years, and Sigmund Freud as well. But I am happy I chose Carl Jung later on because, well, they're both very well-known names, of course, and they both played tremendous and significant roles in the development of both depth psychology and dream psychology, but they really differed in their approaches. So they both valued the dreams and they valued the unconscious. And Freud, he even said that dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. And but he saw dreams as primarily helping us with working out repressed sexual desires, which he saw as the root of neurotic disturbances, and dreams as wish fulfillments. Whereas Jung, he agreed with that, but he saw them as a little bit broader than that. So he saw dreams more as coming from the spiritual dimension. So from the total psyche, so not just from our individual unconscious, but also from something called the collective unconscious. And we're going to take a look at some of the Jungian concepts that are behind some of the concepts that we're going to talk about tonight. So the collective unconscious is described by Jung as a field that connects us all and is present within all living beings. And we tap into this field when we dream. So that is why we sometimes might dream about something that doesn't really relate to our lives at all, but it has been shown up from a different culture, even from a different time. Or you might be able to dream about something that has happened to a family member thousands of miles away. There's just this feel that we can kind of feel it when we walk around. There's just there, and it's just really fascinating how we tap into it. And then we have the archetypes, and they exist within the collective unconscious, and they can be described as universal patterns of behavior that influence us in different kind of ways. So our upbringing and culture will depend. So the archetypal images will show up in our dream, but our upbringing and culture will help them show up in a way that makes sense to us. So for example, the archetype of the wise man may show up as a saint or Jesus for a Christian, or maybe as Buddha for a Buddhist, or some Hindu deity for a Hindu. And then we have the self. And the self is the center of our whole of our whole psyche. And not just, and the ego is the center of our own little consciousness, or the consciousness only. So the self is the head of both the consciousness and the unconscious. So it's also known as the higher self. And then we have the shadow and the persona. So the shadow is the part of ourself that we have repressed at some point because we thought that, or someone told us, or we thought that it wasn't a side of ourselves that is good enough to be shown to the world. So it's hidden, and it's often projected in dream characters. And we will look at that soon, how exciting it can be to learn about ourselves by looking at dream characters. And the persona, the part of ourselves that we present to the world. And if we're putting too much emphasis on our outer image, then we can feel empty inside. And then we're going to talk about, and also synchronicity is a term, Jungian term, which is also quite exciting. Carl Jung coined that after he had some remarkable coincidences himself working with clients. And he differed that from synchronous events. So no one would be that amazed that two schools started at the same time. But there are incidences that are really, really remarkable. And those are moments of synchronicity. As an example, many, many years back, I was given a journal to read, or the correspondence between Carl Jung and Wolfgang Pauli. And it was about the number 137, how it is a fine constant in nature. And I am very fascinated by numbers. So I read this journal, and then I was watching a comedy show. And at the end of the show, the number 137 showed up on my TV in big white letters, because that had been the link for the movie. And I had just finished reading that. So that is a moment of synchronicity. All right, so now let's see what we have next here. Oh yes, step by step of working with our dreams. So we want to start off by writing down the dream and thinking about what type of dream it is, make associations, explore the dream, how the dream relates to your waking life, and honoring your dream. Okay, so let's start with writing down the dream, and I'm going to give you some tips here. So when you write it, you want to keep your dream alive. So, and when you write it in present tense, you will also help remember, you will start remembering more details as you write the dream. And it helps to open the communication flow from your unconscious to your conscious, your left to right brain. So it's good all around. And it can also be exciting to look for trends if you do have them in a dream journal or write them on your computer. And so think about what you're feeling when you're writing it, thinking, where is it? Who is in the dream? What is happening? What is the outcome? And always look at the energy and the feeling in the dream. That is often the key to the whole meaning of the dream. So always think about what you're feeling. All right, and then we go on to thinking about what kind of type of dream it is. So we have dreams that help us from a more of a personal growth perspective, and I call those subjective and objective. lenses. So you can look at a dream from a subjective perspective. And there we have dreams that help enhance our awareness about ourselves. So the characters and the dream elements, they all represent aspects of you in the dream. And then, so as you saw before, the shadow might show up, and we can learn about our shadow by just analyzing the dream characters. And sometimes the shadow shows up as someone behind us, or someone like a self-destructive character. And then we have our more objective type of lens, where the dream characters actually represent themselves. So it's more about us learning about our emotional habits and patterns that we get into, our reactions with other people. And then on the right side of the screen, we have more of the soul growth dreams, dreams that help us grow on an eternal, timeless soul level. And from the intuitive perspective, some dreams that help guide us along the way with sacred messages. And I can give an example here as well. I had a dream that I was scared and I was under the water, and I was breathing absolutely fine. And then all of a sudden I realized, my goodness, I'm under the water. I'm not supposed to be able to breathe. And then the moment that happened, then I could no longer breathe. So a voice came into the dream and said that your mind cannot differentiate between what you think you can do and what you are experiencing. So it's really important, that you can get beautiful intuitive messages like that for your dreams. And then we have the astral dreams, which really help connect us with maybe loved ones that had transitioned, and you maybe even go on a soul journey somewhere else. And very often when loved ones come into our dreams, there's this state of the energy of love all around. And those can be really, really beautiful dreams. All right, so let's see. Oh, yes, very important part of working with our dreams is looking at associations. So all characters and elements in the dream are chosen for a particular reason. So the best dream dictionary you can ever write is one that you write yourself by analyzing symbols that often appear in your dreams. And so dreams always communicate to us in a symbolic language. And if you can't think about, for example, what a cup means to you, then do a little experiment and describe it as if you were to describe it to someone like a little man from Mars who has never seen a cup. And it can also mean that there's an emotional blockage around that symbol. And then the next step is to explore the dream. And that is you can re-enter the dream. So maybe in the night when you go to bed again, or maybe in the morning before you wake up, just really do a little meditation, just go back into the dream. You can engage with dream characters, talk with dream characters, maybe do a little role play and experience the dream from the dream character side, or even ask them questions. And it's just called active imagination, this part of dreaming. So yeah, it's a very fascinating step as well. And then we want to relate the dream to your waking life. So think about, why did this dream come about right now? What happened in the days before I had the dream? And then very often there's an energetic pattern playing out that may have relate to what's happening in the dream as well. And then last but not least, we want to honor our dream. So if you're having a beautiful dream about the ocean and you are blessed to live close to the ocean, maybe go out to the ocean and do something to just really honor that connection. There could be a beautiful, magnificent, transformational life change unfolding in your life, and your dreams are here to help you with that. All right, so we are going to be looking at dream incubation, which is also a very fascinating part of dreams. I think what we are all sometimes we need a little guidance in life. We find ourselves at a crossroads and we just don't know what decision to make. We are thinking, is this right or not? And we can actually ask our dreams for guidance. So the number one key ingredient when it comes to dream incubation is intention. So this is how you program your dream. So I recommend writing down the question be as specific as you possibly can to make it easier for the dream to really correspond to that, and also make it easier for you to interpret the message. Because if you're asking a question that is not so clear, you may not be clear on the answer. And so the last thought that we have in our consciousness before we go to bed carries with us into our dream state. So I will give an example here as well. Many years ago, just when I had started working with the International Association for the Study of Dreams, I was helping to organize a regional conference in Los Angeles. And I had been asked to present, and I wasn't sure what to talk about. There's so many things we can talk about when it comes to dreams. And so I incubated on it. So I asked my dreams for guidance. And the first night I dreamt about a friend of mine, and his face was a clock, like a wall clock. And I just embraced him with so much love. And then the second night, I wasn't sure about the message still. So then the second night, I continued incubation. And you can do that. You can incubate and incubate until you get clarity on your answer. And the second night, I dreamt about E.T., the little extraterrestrial character from the movies. And he had just walked out of a 7-Eleven store, and I was coming in with my daughter. And I thought to myself in the dream, if we had only arrived a few seconds earlier, I would have been able to meet him in person. So of course, since it's a dream world, you can do anything you want. So we were able to transport ourselves in time. And then we walked into the 7-Eleven store just as he walked out, and I was able to shake his hand and meet him in person. So then I woke up, and then I knew. Then I thought, okay, it has something to do with time, the clock, and then traveling back in time through, different dimensions. So I held my seminar around time travel in dreams, and how different indigenous cultures around the world have used their dreams to travel in time and seek a guidance that way. So dreams can be so fascinating like that, and we can really get a lot of information from our whole psyche by doing that. All right, so a couple more things, and then I'm going to stop sharing and check in on you guys. Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit about dream yoga and lucid dreamings. So first of all, I would love to start saying, as powerful as dreams are for asking for guidance and direction and helping us heal emotionally, as I said in the earlier part of the program, some dreams ultimately connect us to something bigger, and they are just meant to be experienced and felt. And when we take the time to clear our mind in the evening before going to bed, there is less need for our dreams to work through emotional clutter. And we open the room for this fascinating realm of spiritual dreams, where we are able to receive this infinite wisdom. And when we are living in higher awareness, it's really a conscious choice that we make every day, and that we can also make in the night and when we go to bed. Okay, so let's look at dream yoga first. And so dream yoga is an ancient practice, Tibetan Buddhist practice. And it's basically, the premise of it is to pay attention to your state of mind before going to bed, and then use your time sleeping as an avenue for spiritual growth. So you don't just stop focusing on your mindfulness as you drift away to sleep. That's actually when then most of the work is done. And so the more present and aware that you are in your daily life, the more present and aware you're also going to be in your dreams. So the goal of dream yoga is enlightenment, so total, complete awakening. And there's 4 foundations of dream yoga. The first one is to kind of regard your whole life as a dream. So walk around and say, "Whoa, isn't this a wonderful dream? Isn't this interesting happening?" And then you want to reduce your daily reactions. So always practice mindfulness throughout the day to be nice and calm and highly aware. And then phase 3, or step 3, is 2 phases. And the first one is when you go to bed, you want to review your memories from the day as images, as if there was a dream that you had throughout the day. And then phase 2 is to really dedicate and be determined that you're going to have a dream that you are aware in. And then if you are blessed to have an awakened dream, then rejoice and be grateful in the morning. All right, so then lucid dreaming is a little bit similar to dream yoga in that we are aware and awake in our dreams, so we know that we are dreaming. So, but lucid dreaming doesn't necessarily mean spiritual growth. So there's a lot of lucid dreamers who practice all kind of fun fantasies and exciting adventures. And that's absolutely fine, but it wouldn't be dream yoga, because the yoga part of dream yoga is a spiritual practice. And in dream yoga, they even look at dreams as having like karmic seeds. So they think that they are not karmically neutral dreams. So, but if you are blessed to have a dream, that you are aware that you are dreaming, first of all, you want to go where the energy is. So always follow the energy in the dream and ask the dream open-ended questions. You can learn so much about yourself in the dream world by doing that. And then also something that many lucid dreamers have found, and I am a big fan of doing the spinning. So you can just start kind of like spinning in your dream, and you can go and find yourself in a new dream scene if you don't like the scene that you are in. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing just for a little moment. And let's see if I can see you. Yes. All right. So who has any thoughts and questions so far? We are going to do the last part of our seminar, and we are going to talk about different kinds of dreams that we can have and different examples of dreams. And I would just love to hear if there are any particular, maybe like requests that you have before I start talking about different kinds of dreams. We're going to talk about some wish fulfillment dreams, dreams about driving, flying, maybe some house dreams, dreams of animals. And how is everyone doing so far? Does anybody have any comments or any questions?
Or feel free to ask her or send in a chat or.
Yeah. If not, I will just start talking a little bit more, and I will talk about some dreams that we have. And first, I wanted to speak about wish fulfillment dreams. And I think we have all had that dream. We wake up. Oh, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen because I do have some fun pictures for this. Hang on just 1 second here. Let's see. There we go. So there, wish fulfillment dreams. So we wake up and all of our dreams have come true. We might have married the love of our lives, won the lottery, bought the beautiful house, or got a dream career. And then we wake up and we think it was just a dream. So that is the moment we really want to hold on to, because if we are able to really experience how it feels in mind, body, and soul, how it feels to be aligned in the frequency of having that wish fulfilled, then we can attract that beautiful energy to our life easier because we know what it felt like. And that is the thing in manifestation. The feeling is often more important than the wish itself. So knowing how we would love to feel is the key to dream fulfillment. So those dreams are really precious and crucial. So I would say hold on to those dreams. They are really, really special. And then we have this fun dream of showing up naked. So you can see there's one girl here who is feeling a little concerned about being naked, and then one girl who feels pretty happy about it. So that, of course, we always want to look at our feeling in the dream. A lot of times, dreams of being naked, they happen when we have low self-esteem. We might have done something we feel uncomfortable about. Maybe we doubt ourselves. We feel exposed in some way. Maybe we have revealed too much in a conversation about ourselves and feel like people can just see through us. So on the other hand, if you're feeling happy, and it might be so that you actually feel pretty good about opening up and you feel great about living in authenticity. Many years ago, when I was in India at an ashram, I was meditating every day and I felt really good at the time. And I had a dream of bicycling naked, fully naked, and feeling so good. So I felt so imbalanced. And it was very funny. I thought that my dreams had shown me a bike as well, which is all about balancing as well. So I felt very balanced and happy about being my authentic self. All right, how about dreams of feeling stuck? And that can often happen when we feel unable to do something about a life situation that we are in. We might have experienced a financial setback. Maybe we are facing some important decisions, so we don't know what to do. We feel powerless in some way. And this is also where we really want to bring in honesty and accept how we truly feel. And this is something that's so beautiful about dreams, because dreams really help us become more aware of how we're truly feeling about a situation. So many times in life, we push away our feelings. We don't really want to feel them. So, but just by accepting where we feel stuck opens up the room so that we can take action, because we can never take action from a state of fight and flight. So first accepting, calming ourselves down, and then dealing with it, of course. And also, we are not able to solve a problem with the same consciousness as created it. So listening to the guidance in our dreams will help enhance our awareness. Driving dreams, they can be very funny as well. And often they symbolize how your journey is going through life. Are you traveling through the road smoothly, or are you driving off a cliff? Is it really hard to see what's ahead of you? And brakes, are they working? Is there a crash? So, if it's very foggy, it might symbolize that is how you feel in life, and it might be time for you to do something different. These kind of dreams can be warning dreams as well. If there's an impending crash, or if you actually crash in the dream, it could be a warning that this is the way that your life is heading right now, if you don't take steps to change direction. All right, flying dreams. Oh, yes, they are so good for enhancing our perspective. To me, they symbolize an ultimate level of freedom. Maybe when you have mastered a situation, or something that used to bother you no longer bothers you. You might be able to just fly higher and see everything from a higher perspective. And rising above something. I was many years ago incubating on an answer of whether or not to travel back home to Sweden for the summer. And I had a dream where I was flying on a chair and I felt so free. So I knew that was the right answer, because there was a good answer to my dream question. So often when you have a flying dream and you feel happy, it is a great time to stretch your wings and fly. Now, on the other hand, if you are dreaming, you're flying and you're feeling scared, they're about to crash. Now, that is, of course, something totally different. If you're falling out of an airplane, maybe your life is not going in the direction that you want, right? So it's a little different. Oh, house dreams, very important. So often houses in dreams, they are representations of ourselves. So ask yourself how you feel in the house. Do you feel safe in your house? And maybe you're finding new rooms in the house, maybe a new door. So often new rooms, maybe you're finding a new attic in a house, they represent that you are actually learning to see a new side of yourself you didn't know. Maybe there are new capabilities you weren't sure that you had before. Now you're starting to see them. And also maybe doors opening up in the house, could be new opportunities coming your way. It is the right time. If you have incubated a dream and you get an answer with lots of open doors, maybe this is the right time to do it. On the other hand, if doors are closed in the dream, it may not be the right time. Maybe it's not the time for you to make this choice. And it's a good way of just exploring yourself, walking around in houses in dreams. You can get a really good glimpse of your full potential. Oh, yes. And then we have our animal friends. So often in dreams, our animal friends, they represent the instinctual aspects of ourselves. And I took an example here of the dog, the loyal dog. But of course, it depends what your association is with the animal. The snake is a very interesting animal to dream about because they symbolize so many different things. And of course, they are known for being wise, intuitive, but also cold blooded. So it could be like emotional coldness when maybe within yourself or with somebody else in your surrounding. So you always want to listen to the feeling, of course, if it is evilness or wisdom coming from the snake or from any animal in your dream. So from a warning perspective, snakes, of course, they are well camouflaged, they hide, and they are sneaky predators. So maybe it could be from a subjective level that it's something within you that is acting like a snake and you're not comfortable accepting. Or they could be objectively someone in your surrounding that you need to watch out for. And from a spiritual perspective of wisdom, the snake in Kundalini Yoga symbolizes the Kundalini energy that lays dormant on the base of the spine. And of course, rises as we activate our energy and awareness. And the snake, of course, transforms by shedding its skin. So it's a very spiritual animal that way. All right. So, and then we'll also take a little look at number dreams, because so many times in our dreams, numbers show up. And I mentioned earlier, I love the beautiful fine structure of numbers. They just eloquently connect us between waking and dream states, and they help guide us as well, I believe, in the universe. They have been studied for thousands of years. Pythagoras, he was a big lover of number. He even had a school back in his days where, as an entrance exam, it was a very difficult school to get into. And I think it was many different tests that interested students would have to sit and take. But if they had a life path of number 7, they were automatically enrolled, because then he knew that they would be, well, they'd be a good student in the school. So yes, just a little summary. I'm going to just give you a little snippet about each number. So all numbers like 5, 4, you see here on the screen, can actually be reduced to a 9 by putting 5 plus 4 together. Or you could also look at the numbers individually. And I would also ask myself, do I have an association with this number? Did I, for example, live on a street name called 54? So always go a little bit deeper than just looking at the numbers, but I would also look at the individual numbers and then adding them together as well. So number 1, natural leadership quality. So if this number comes into your dream, it may be time for you to just embrace your self-worth and believe in yourself, value your independence, and love yourself a little more. And just remembering that you can accomplish anything that you want to do. Number 2 is a peacemaker number. So it's time to make peace for yourself and others. Maybe reflect on the connection that you have with others. And it just really helps illuminate your inner sensitivity. So it helps you connect with others. Number 3, that is a creativity number. It's just creativity is flourishing when 3 comes into your dream, and it helps you find new inventive ways of creating your dreams. And it's a good time for dreaming big. Number 4, organization and persistence, being focused. So if this comes in, it might be time to declutter your surroundings, and it's one of the most structured of all numbers. So it shows that if you're putting in hard work with persistence, you really get magnificent results. Number 5 in a dream is quite exciting because that means change is in the air. And it's great movement possibly in your life, lots of adventures, life changes, fun times, freedom and change. And you want to make sure, of course, that you choose changes that resonate with your life path and with who you are and what your values are. Number 6 is a number of family time, responsibility and love. And motherly or fatherly love often is represented by number 6. Well, a number of harmony, structure and balance. Just reminding yourself that when you focus on others, then you just grow and expand continuously. 7 is a very intuitive number, universal intelligence, higher wisdom, spiritual understanding. So when 7 comes around, it's a good time to study and research and contemplate, maybe write a book. And number 8 is like a master manifestation number. And it's a reminder to where we're focusing, that's the direction we are going. So really make sure you're focusing on what you do want. And 9 is this humanitarian, loving generosity number. It's all about compassion, and it reminds you that you are supported by the whole universe to help humanity. And and your 9 is just a beautiful number of giving. And then sometimes we get numbers that are master numbers. So 11, for example, is a number of divine light, illuminates universal truth and divine messages, often from your angels and spirit guides. Number 22, manifestation time. So staying focused, really focus on what you want. It's a double. It's even stronger than 8, I would say. And always make sure you meditate before taking action, because then you are taking it from a place of soul alignment. 33, unconditional love, forgiveness and service. And 44 is also a really exciting number, because that really is, dedication and structure really will help you get the results you want. And I'm sure you have all seen number 1111. And that number is a real beautiful portal. So if it shows up, I will pay close attention to what you're thinking and feeling at the time, because that's often a special message delivered. So what were you dreaming? What were you thinking in the dream? What was happening when it appeared? So the message is often in the energy surrounding the number. Or maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and it's 11:11. Well, that's early in the night. 12 o'clock is middle of the night. And then so reminding you that you're always guided on your path when this number shows up. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing for a little bit here and see how we are doing. We have a little bit time left, and I would love to see if we have some examples maybe of dreams that we can talk about together.
I have a question.
Yes.
I don't dream very often, which I don't know what that means. Or I don't remember. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, do we dream every night or?
Yeah, so we go through all this like dream REM sleep stages. We have between 3 to 5 REM sleep stages, and we dream in all of those. So even if you don't remember your dreams, you can be sure that you have them. And so yes, I would pay close attention to your intention of really wanting to remember them, because they will respond to that. So if you start like writing in your writing in your journal, tonight I will remember my dreams, and always having a journal right next to your bed. So let's say you wake up in the middle of the night or early morning, and you have a little glimpse of a dream that you remember, and a first step would be to not move around. So lay perfectly still, because sometimes when we start moving our head around, the dream starts dissolving. So it's always good to kind of like go through the image again. And even if you just remember one little snippet, I was walking in a supermarket, that's it. That's okay. Start writing that down, and very likely you will start remembering a few more things as you write it down. And even if you don't, just having that little flow will make the dreams very excited. Another little trick that I found through the years is to think about a dream that I had a long time ago. That will also start getting that flow going. So yeah, dreams really respond to attention. And so that would be a good way to start. And then, of course, as we said before, turning your room into a little spa, doing a little meditative practice in the night, just making a little ritual and thinking about something good. You can even meditate on the number 1111, or meditate on something you want to have answer to, and just kind of program yourself. Tonight, I will dream about this. Maybe you want to dream about a fairy and see if a fairy shows up. It is possible. It is possible. Yes.
And we have a question. What kind of meditation exercises do you recommend before going to bed?
Yes, yes, good question. So I recommend some deep breathing first, just closing your eyes and doing like a little deep breathing. Just really bring your awareness to your breath. Maybe breathing in first with your abdomen, chest, emptying your chest and abdomen. You're doing that like two-part breathing. And then I would visualize a white, like a golden light above your head. It's one of my favorite things to do. And imagine as you're breathing that the light slowly pours in the top of your head, down your neck, your spine, filling your whole body with white golden light. And then imagine that the light, I call this the golden light meditation, that the light is also in front of you, on your right side, behind you, on your left side, above you, underneath you, that you're totally embraced in this light. And what will happen after a while of doing this is you will see that the light inside you is the light, the same as the light around you. And it's all just light. And then you will feel free to just expand. And is this an expansion? I think that the real connection to the field happens when we just feel like we're not really in our body anymore. We just expand. And it's just such a wonderful feeling. So that is a great meditation to do. Or as I mentioned earlier, to lay down on your back for a little bit with your legs up the wall, if it's okay for your body to do so. It is also a really good way of just calming down the body before sleep. So yeah, those are my go-to for nighttime meditation.
And as well, for me, curiously, is dreaming more like an intuition that, or things you're thinking about that comes in your dreams, or?
Yeah, so there's the different dream states will have different kinds of dreams. So the first two dream states, they are more about, clearing out things that happened. And then the third state is, actually the second state, I should say, is more about strengthening your memory and then clearing out things that happen. So you do have those dreams. If you happen to remember any of those dreams, they are more like clearing out emotional processing, right? That you have gone through the day. And then in our REM sleep, then I would say that chances are higher of getting intuitive guidance dreams. And that is not to say that we don't get emotional processing dreams there too, because we do, because they might be important for us from guidance perspective as well. So yes, really learn to see what habits we are in, because as I said, if we are stuck in a habit and we keep repeating our way of handling different situations, we're going to be stuck in the similar life situation. We are not going to grow and evolve. So it's really important, I think, to pay attention to those dreams, because they really will show us how we are acting and reacting. And it's but I think there are many beautiful intuitive dreams that we have, and it's so beautiful to listen to those messages and just getting that guidance that we so cherish. And it also helps remind us that we're not alone. Everything is not on our shoulders. We do have a team of angels around us, or spirit guides, or loved ones, or higher beings guiding our way as well with us. So we are connecting into something bigger as we dream, which is really fascinating.
We have another question. How long do dreams, actually two, how long do dreams last? Mm-hmm. And how many times do we dream in one night?
Yeah, so dreams, if I understand correctly from the sleep scientists, they can last around 45 minutes at the time, or they can be very small. So they in the first REM states of the night, they are shorter, and then they grow longer. So for the second part, a little bit longer, and then the third, and possibly the fourth, if you sleep that long, they will get even longer. So then you have this big, long stretches of REM sleep. So, and then what was the first question? The second question? How many times?
How many times do we dream in one night?
Oh, yes. So 3 to 5 times we have those periods of REM sleep. So yeah, we might, if we are lucky, we might remember 5 dreams in a night, maybe more if we happen to have a few different ones in those long states. Yeah. So but 3 to 5 dreams, they say. That's a lot of dreams. Yeah.
Any other questions, anybody? Dream interpretation questions? I have one, just a quick one.
Yeah.
So even though I don't remember a lot of my dreams, once in a while I will feel like where I'm trying to fly, but I keep kind of coming back down to the ground, and then I go up a little bit and then back down. What does that mean?
Yes, I would see that very similar to a dream of trying to like drive up a hill, but rolling back a little bit, right? So having that energy of trying to do something and almost being able to do it and then falling down again. So I would ask myself when those kind of dreams happen, and it sounds like that could be almost like a recurring dream. Oh, and we didn't touch upon that. Recurring dreams, that's a good question, Venus. The recurring dreams, they tend to come about to just really enhance our awareness about something that we keep doing. So they are extra important to pay attention to so they don't develop into a nightmare. And also I want to say nightmares are not here to punish you in any way if you have a nightmare. Nightmares are here to help us. They are always our friend. But Venus, coming back to your question, it often symbolizes that I would ask myself the few days before I had that dream, what was happening? Was it something that I felt like, oh, for work, something I was trying to do, but I almost got it, and then I fell back? Or was it something in my personal life, or, something totally different that I was almost ready to do, and then I didn't really have the energy to do it, or it didn't really work out, and see what that could be. And it probably will help enhance your awareness. And it sounds like your dream has chosen that particular image. Or it could also be, flying. I would ask you what association you have with flying. Maybe for me, if I was trying to fly, trying to see things from a higher perspective, trying to be free, and then it didn't really happen that way, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about it next time I have that.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Just think like, okay, what happened the last few days before I had this dream? What did I think about? Or did I have a conversation with somebody that reminded me of something? And it could just be a thought pattern. And we all get these little thought patterns. We spiral down in these thought patterns. And it's important sometimes to just stop them, just look at them, and knowing that, yes, because they come in, we don't have to be engaged in them. We can just observe them, right? And it's the same thing. Yeah. So it's a good one. Yeah.
Any other questions, anybody? Or any chat questions, Yvonne?
No, I think that was it. The last
Okay.
ones that I read. So I think
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you, Anna, for coming on with us.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I really hope that maybe I can be back in person sometime soon and see everybody in person.
Oh, wait, there is a question. There's a question, another question. Okay. What stage of sleep are dreams where the person believes they are awake, sort of a sleepwalking?
Yes. So they are in REM sleep. So, well, REM sleep, sleepwalking. So that would be probably in REM sleep, and the body has not, the body is acting out the dream. So it's not paralyzed, but I'm not sure actually about that. I think it is, but I would need to double check that one. I'm not sure of the answer. I believe it is REM sleep, and the body hasn't really become paralyzed, so it's acting out the dream instead. It's possible. I don't have a good answer for that one. I wish I did. Yeah. I will look it up. That's a good question.
And I think that's it.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, hopefully we can get together soon in person.
Yes. Yes. And then we can do a little hybrid. But hopefully when the museum is renovated.
Yes.
Yes.
Next spring.
Definitely.
Oh, that'll be lovely. Yes.
So we should have a nice meeting room at that point.
Yeah.
How wonderful. Yeah, it's so fun. It's wonderful that we can do this through Zoom, but even more fun with an audience and connecting with everybody in person.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for coming, and thank you, Anna, for everything.
Yes, thank you so much.
This was very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys, and have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.